Hello and howdy everyone. Last night I watched Conan O'Brien, Can't Stop. I've wanted to see this movie for some time, longer than I can remember actually. When did I first want to see this movie? It came out, I think, for like 1 week, maybe two, here in Los Angeles. For like, on one screen for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, but I swear I think it was only 1 week. I believe it was the Downtown Independent. I did not get to see it. I didn't have the time. Very disappointed, but I thought, okay, it's going to be on, disc anytime now. And after it came to disc, it took me forever to find it. Maybe not. Well, find it to rent, I guess I could have bought it, but I, don't want to commit to something I haven't seen. I've had this on my Blockbuster queue forever. It's been on like very high demand, very long wait forever. So it's like I'm never, going to get it shipped to me. Finally, after years of waiting, I seriously think it's been like over a year, maybe a year and a half since I put it on my queue. It finally went to short wait, not available, but short wait. So I've, moved it to the top of the list thinking that, well, when it comes in, I'm going to get it. And so it came to me. And hallelujah. I was so happy to finally see it, I kind of want to give it a 9. I thought it was really, really good. It really spoke to me. Maybe 8 is a little bit more accurate. The 9 is kind of emotional. I think had I seen this in the theater, I'd definitely give it a 9. There's a lot of musical performances that are excellent and, rocking and kind of got me moving. And it was fun, a lot of fun. It was funny, it was smart, it was meaningful, it was intimate, it was honest, raw, everything you would want in a biographical documentary. I really, really wanted to see it after watching, I guess it was called At the Movies at the time. This is the Roger Ebert show on PBS. It was well after Roger Ebert's surgery, so he had gone to the one segment per show and turned the show over to the lady who I can't remember and the guy whose name I can't pronounce, Ignacy Vichnevitsky. When they reviewed this film, they compared it to one of my favorite films, the Bob Dylan biography / concert film, Don't Look Back, the D.A. Pennebaker film. And after they compared it to Don't Look Back, I really wanted to see it. So I was pumped to see it, and I really enjoyed it. Conan O'Brien, I can't say is one of my favorite late night hosts. I always watched his opening monologue and the comedy bits after the monologue, but as for interviewing, I never watched his interviews. I never thought he was a skilled interviewer, so I always kind of turned the channel after that. But Conan O'Brien's kind of been a part of my life. He was kind of a founding father of The Simpsons. He replaced David Letterman when I was a teenager, and it was just like, he kind of won me over from that, because, I kind of hated him in a way, because who is this replacing David Letterman, one of my heroes. So it took a while for me to appreciate Conan. In fact, it was like mostly mocking Conan for the first couple of years. I was in junior high, and mocking Conan, but I do enjoy him. I think he's hilarious now. I think he's a a tremendous clown, and I mean that as a compliment. You know, he's a great clown. Here, it chronicles his legally prohibited from being funny on television tour, which he took soon after being pretty much cast out of NBC, where he could not appear on radio or television or something else. But you know, you could do a live tour, make a documentary while you're doing it. I'd say the best thing about this film is that it gives you you know, an intimate look at a high-profile artist's, you know, life. It you know, it's kind of reality, but yet I think it mixes what I'll say Kaufman as an Andy Kaufman-esque comedy bits. I mean, I feel that sometimes they've got to be joking somewhat because of the camera and, you know, sound crew there. They've got to have, you know, a little bit of fun with it. Just because Conan O'Brien, again, it's kind of a brave for him because in many instances this film does not show him in the best light. It shows him as kind of arrogant and self-centered, and if not, sometimes downright mean. There's a scene with Jack McBrayer, and this is what I'm talking about, the Kaufman-esque, basically, mostly. Jack McBrayer from 30 Rock, I think that's pretty much all I know him from. You know, the friendly hayseed character. Conan O'Brien, from the minute he sees him, and I'm sure they go back, I'm sure they have a friendship, but from the minute he sees him to the minute, you know, they say goodbye, he is just mean, like acidically mean to him, saying jokes that are, you know, funny. Like, he walks in and instead of saying hi, he says, "Wow, you know, Jack McBrayer, I thought I smelled wet hay." You know, so it's like he, you know, it's always kind of funny, but the look on McBrayer's face is, you know, he doesn't know what to think. He's like, you know, can't you be nice to me for 10 seconds before you tear me apart? You know, I didn't know if it was a joke or if they're just that good of friends, or, you know, it's interesting. And I think it's just obvious that Conan O'Brien has done an excellent job of holding on to his youth. You know, he's just a great big kid. And kids can be mean, you know, because kids are honest and say what they're thinking and, you know, just want to do what they want to say what they want to say. And that's what Conan O'Brien does. I kind of admire it, but it is, you know, sometimes his personal assistant is just like, ooh, you know, just like walking on eggshells at all, you know, at all times. And I think that for a performer and as a person who is in the spotlight as much as Conan O'Brien is in the spotlight, for him to open up his private life, show that it's not perfect, show that he's not perfect, I think it's just brave, you know, it's commendable. The movie's very funny. I mean, if you think Conan O'Brien's funny, then this movie's going to be funny. He's funny all the time. The name of the film, Can't Stop. Conan O'Brien, Can't Stop. Apt. Highly apt. Because he can't. He never stops. He can't stop. He doesn't stop talking. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't stop thinking. He doesn't stop seeking attention. You know, he just doesn't stop. So it's a very, you know, well-filmed or well-named film. It also shows how caring, it just shows what a good person he is. You know, you just like Conan O'Brien, even if he is a little bit self-centered, maybe a little mean. You know, he still cares about his fans. He still knows, you know, who put him there, you know, what keeps him there. You know, he can't say no to a fan. it's just like to strangers, he's perfectly cordial, perfectly, nice, great guy. But then, you get him alone, and, it's, again, that's true to life. We often put on masks, often put on a second face for the public, for people we have to interact with. But then he turns around and behind their back really lets them have it. So, again, it's honest. It's very honest. The music is great. I almost kind of want to call this a concert film as well. It's definitely more backstage, but you get a good feel of what, his tour was like. You get a lot of concert footage, a lot of great music, great musical performances with the late night band. Just had a great sound. Again, it was just like out of nowhere, just this fun, and I wanted to dance. I wanted to get up out of my chair and dance. So it was like I kind of imagined seeing it in the theater and thinking, wow, this would have been, great. I don't know what else to say. I try my hardest to work in show business. I'm an actor, and I struggle, through that every day. Obviously, Conan O'Brien is someone who has succeeded beyond expectations in show business, and he has, offers a lot of insight into that, into the state of mind that you have to have, the stamina that you have to have. He has a lot to say about art and about, creativity versus, capitalism, I suppose. He just has a lot of artistic insights about about show business and the mindset of an artist that I greatly appreciated. I always like to know that someone else thinks like me and can validate, some of my thoughts, some of my fears. And Conan O'Brien definitely does that here. He talks about that, and says, again, I just identified with it. He gave me advice that I feel I could use, and I felt, I felt a kinship. I felt that I could identify, and I knew what he was talking about. It spoke to me. So that's probably what impacted me the most. Is just the life and the goals of an artist, which I absolutely strive to be. So I just enjoyed the film. It's hilarious. It's got great music. It's got great insight. It's very intimate. It's very real. Just a great intimate portrait of a powerful comedian and clown. I don't really know what else to say. There you go. There it is again. I definitely recommend it. I think it can be easily found. I'm kind of considering buying it now that I've seen it, just because I enjoyed it so much, and it's something I feel I could return to for inspiration. So I think it can be easily found, I think, but I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it. So that's Conan O'Brien, Can't Stop. And I give it, I'll give it a solid 9. I definitely, thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much.